All right, guys, today we're going to go ahead and do our activity sheet, complementary and supplementary angles. Identify each pair of angles as complementary, supplementary, or neither. We did this in class quite a bit, so it should be pretty easy for you, but I want you to get some extra practice. So, complementary and supplementary angles. Remember that a complementary angle is an angle, two angles that equal 90 degrees. So, in other words, if I have a 90-degree angle, any line that goes through it gives me two angles that will equal 90 degrees. A supplementary angle are any two angles formed by 180 degrees. In other words, their combined total for the angles when their sum will equal 180 degrees. Let's go ahead and try, let's see, I'll do the evens for you, or no, the odds, and you can do the evens. You know what, today I think I'll do something special. I'm going to go ahead and do the evens. I'm always doing the odds. So let's go to number 2. We have, looks like a complementary angle here because it gives 90 degrees, that little square. So a line going through this will give me two angles that are complementary to each other. So I'm going to use typing this time. And for 2, it'll be complementary. Okay? And let's go ahead and make the letters just a wee bit smaller, shall we? All right, and that brings me over to number 4 now. Let's see, and again, it's each pair is complementary, supplementary, or neither. Number 4 is actually vertical angles because they're angles that are opposite each other. So these are not going to be complementary or supplementary. These angles are neither. Okay? Let's see. And once again, we're going to go to, wow. That looks good right there. All right, and number 6. Let's see. Number 6 is 49 and 41. Well, 49 and 41 equal something, don't they? Let's find out. 49 and 41, if we go to our calculator, 49 plus 41 will equal 90. Look at that. And two angles that equal 90 are complementary angles. All right, let's go to number 8. We have two angles here, and they're both 49. Well, 49 and 49 do not equal 90. So, since 49 and 49 actually equal 58, this one's going to be neither. Let's see here. Now let's go on to number 10. Find the value of x in each figure. Find the value of x. Well, now we start getting a little bit harder. To find the value of x, I have to remember my rules about supplementary and complementary angles. Every supplementary angle is going to be equal to 180. Supplementary angles are two angles that equal 180. And complementary, I remember, are going to be two angles that equal 90. Okay? But supplementaries are straight lines, and 90-degree angles are an angle that is perpendicular, a line being perpendicular 90 degrees to another line. So let's check this out. First of all, I've got 3x and 18. How can I find out what this is? Well, I have to remember that they are on one line, and that is a supplementary angle. Okay, these two are supplementary, which means both of them will equal 180. So I can say 180 is going to be equal to 3x plus 18. And if I remember that, I can go ahead and say, well, I have to subtract 18 from this side, which means I'll subtract 18 from this side, which tells me that 3x is going to equal, let's see here, it's going to be 2, so it's going to be 6, 162. So how many times does 3 go into 162? Let's use our calculator again. Well, 3 goes into 162 54 times. So x equals 54. Does everyone see how I did that? All right, let's go ahead and try 12. This is going to be a complementary angle because I've got that little square there. Complementary are two angles that equal 90 degrees. I don't know what x is, but I do know that 42 plus 4x is going to equal 90. Now don't go under the assumption that this is straight in the middle. So 42 here means 42 here. If that's true, 42 and 42 would be 84, and that doesn't equal 90, which means this area here is just a wee bit bigger than this one. So let's go ahead and subtract 42 from this side, which means I subtract 42 from this side. That tells me that this side is going to be 48. Now that I know that this side is 48, I know that 4x is going to equal 48. Well, how many times, what do I got to do to get rid of 4 from x? I got to divide 4 from x, which means I'll have to divide it from this side, which means how many times does 4 go into 48? That goes in 12 times. So that tells me that x equals 12. Let's move on to number 14. Number 14, again, are two angles that reside on one line. See the one line right here? Both of these angles are on this line, which means this is a supplementary angle. They have to equal 180. So if I work this out, I can say that 3x plus 117 equals 180. If I do this, I can remember that I have to get x alone, which means I have to subtract 117 from this side. And whatever I subtract from this side, I subtract from this side. Now my 3x comes down, and it's going to equal, well, let's see here. That's going to be 3. I had to borrow one here, so that's 7 minus 1, that's 6. And 1 minus 1 is 0, so 3x is going to equal 63. All right? Well, I have to get x alone, so I'll have to divide it by 3. Whatever I divide from one side, I'm going to have to divide from the other side. Now, how many times does 3 go into 63? Well, 3 goes into 6, 2, the 3 once, so that's going to be x equals 21. Let's go to number 16. Number 16 shows me x minus 5, and then they have a 22 pointing to this spot here. Once again, we're dealing with a supplementary angle because both of them are on one line, which means the combination of this angle and this angle are going to equal 180. So if I take the information I have, I know that 180 equals, let's see, we have 22 plus, that's x minus 5. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, this is a lot over here. But remember, we got to combine like terms first. What is 22 minus 5? Okay? 22 minus 5 is actually going to give me, let's see, 17. So now I have 180 equals 17 plus x. Does that make sense? 22 minus 5, right? That's going to be 7, and I had to borrow 1, so it's going to be 17. Now let's work what we have left. I have to combine like terms again, and I need to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 17 from this side, and whatever I subtract from one side, I subtract from the other. So let's work this out. X comes down, the equal sign comes down, and 180 minus 17, 180 minus 17, well, that's going to be 10, so this would be 3. I had to borrow 1 from there, so that's 7 minus 1, which is 6. And let's see, the 1 comes down. That's 163. So x is going to equal 163. All right? The last one's number 18. Let's work this one out. We're dealing with another complementary angle. We know that because of that little box here, that this all equals 90 degrees. Okay? So if this equals 90 degrees, I can say then that 3x plus 57 equals 90. All right, we're going to subtract 57 from each side so I can get 3x alone. And if I do so, let's see, I'll have 3x by itself over here. And then I'll have 90 minus 57. So this is going to be 3. I borrowed one here, so that's going to be 8 minus 5, which is 3. And I know now that 3x equals 33. Well, I have to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide 3 from it. That'll give me 3 over 3, which crosses that out. And now I have to divide it from this side. 33 divided by 3 is 11. So I know that x is 11. And I believe that's all of it. Have a great night and see you in class tomorrow. Bye.